Hello, it is 570, week number 6. So, pretty straightforward this week. Buckle in. It is some heavy reading, it is some dense reading. Maybe don't buckle in because it's so dense it'll just hold you in your seat. It is John Dewey, it is the Dewey reading. You have more of it in week 7, more of it in week 8, but this week is like deep into it. Couple tips, there's some gray boxes in the side. I strongly recommend reading just the gray boxes first. Those tend to be a synthesis of the full reading. Do that, possibly take notes, then go back and read the whole thing. It is important that you're going through all of the week 6 Dewey content. If you tend to look at readings only on the weekend, perhaps don't do that this week. Try and spread it out over 5, 6, maybe even 7 days. You're going to want to give your brain some time to kind of digest it because, for me at least, Dewey has always been incredibly dense. And it's one of those things where after these next 3 weeks, you will be the type of educator that can be like, oh, as we know from Dewey, yada yada, only with, actual content. Still is relevant 100% many, many years later. And it does come up. Not in like the like know it all, like in my graduate work, we discussed Dewey, and you don't need to have that tone. And yet, in conversations with educators, in presentations, it's the type of thing that you can bring up because you are developing this deep expertise. And while people tend to have a very cursory view of Dewey and his writings, not a lot of educators have really dug into it in the way that you're going to. So it's kind of like type 2 fun. Do you know this? Like type 1 fun is like we went to a concert and it was great, and just like cool, that was great. Type 2 fun is when I was at the ISTE conference, presenting at a conference with 18,000 of my closest friends when I was in Chicago. A few of us got tickets to see Hamilton, which was amazing. I'm like, what's the cheapest possible ticket I can find? Cool, I want that one. Got in, saw it, my mind was blown, and then because it was like such a rare moment traveling for a conference, so I don't have anyone else, like just random friends. So my friend Ann, who actually works at Microsoft Flip, we're like, we should stage door. She's like, yeah, we should. So we stand by the stage door, which is where you get to meet the cast and some of the crew sometimes. And it was raining. And we're like, it's cool. Like, we can wait in the rain for like 15 minutes. And that was fun for like 10 seconds. This was like, so I've been in California my whole life. It rained so heavily and so thoroughly that after 15 minutes, my shoes were so soaked, I had to actually throw them away. I was traveling and ended up just like getting mildewy. They were old, granted, but like they never actually fully dried. It was like that level of like not fun. I got to meet Miguel Cervantes, who played Hamilton, who's actually now on Broadway in New York playing Hamilton. So nice. Like stopped and took pictures of us and chatted with us, and I shared a couple things that I noticed in particular with kind of like my musician hat on. Like nicest, most gracious human you could hope for. And dude, like he was the lead. He was the only one. Everyone else was like, it's pouring rain. We left. Um, I was cold and shaking and like soaked, like deeply, like traveling in Illinois, kind of soaked. And it was not like that moment was amazing, but like the 15 minutes thing before and the hour after was not fun. But even as I tell this story, you're like, nice. That's a good story. That is epic. That is type 2 fun. That is a type 2 fun story. That is what you were doing for the next 3 weeks with this reading. It's like type 2 fun reading. When you're on the other end of it, I feel like you will be like super grateful for it. But right now, not as much. And that's really this week. I'm double checking what your reading's going to be doing. It's really just it's part one, the problem of training thought. You're going to have your Microsoft Flip reading reflection about this, so be sure and actually read that. Make sure you continue to post that each week. You'll be graded on that right when the course ends at the end of week number 8. Definitely look ahead at week number 7. That's actually when you're creating your presentation. So the following week is your big presentation, and then it's almost kind of a film fest. In week 8, we'll watch each other's presentations, observe each other, and then another Microsoft Flip reflection. So that's what you have this week. Hopefully I set some context and gave you like a, yeah, I can do this. The other big news that I must share right now, it is OpenAI related, ChatGPT specific, and it's actually connected with the Dewey. If you're stuck on Dewey and you've read it 3 times and you're like, I don't know what this means, copy and paste it into ChatGPT or Anthropic's Claude 2, which is similar to ChatGPT Pro, but it's free. And just say, like, explain this to me like I'm a 9th grader. And you can just do that paragraph by paragraph. If you need another way to do it, you're like, this still doesn't make sense. Give me an analogy. What's an example of this would be like? I teach 8th grade. How does this connect with me? You can ask all of that of a generative AI chatbot. Fantastic way to do that, to actually make Dewey more accessible. You could even start a new chat and say, like, your job is to make the reading of Dewey interesting and relatable to me. Tell me some jokes. Summarize the thing. I'm going to give you a paragraph at a time. Summarize it for me and include puns or something like that. You could use a prompt like that, paste it in, and then you're going to get a very different and filtered and mostly accurate way, right? Maybe don't do that, but you could. You could. The big thing that OpenAI announced are custom GPTs. You can make your own chatbot. And so an example might be, for this course, I could actually download all the assignments as PDFs or Word docs. I could print every page from the Canvas as a PDF. Command P, save as PDF, weeks 1 through 8. I could grab the syllabus. I could grab all the other resources. I can even get a video transcript. What's the website I use for video transcripts? Kome.ai, comb.ai. They have a YouTube generator, so I can like grab YouTube videos, paste that in, save those, or paste the text, and basically build my own database, decide how I want this custom GPT to behave. Like, you're my TA. You know, like in big classes with like 500 students, instructors get their own TA. So like me as instructor for this course, GPT, you are my TA. You're going to help with answering questions I have. If one of you, my students, has a question, I could paste that question into this custom bot and get an answer. Now, it's early enough, and so I will be, if I do this, I will be checking it and actually answering it in kind of the old school way that humans do. I also have taught this course a number of times, so I just have it in my head. But the idea is, in a more complex or new course, I could get like a draft from like a TA as this custom GPT. I can have it be serious, I can have it be folksy, I can have it be informal, conversational, I can have it tell lots of dad jokes or puns. I can be like, whenever you give me like a script for this video, possibly, include some puns. So like Dewey, what could I do? Do I have ChatGPT open? Of course I do. Of course I do. Let's try give me a pun about John Dewey. Let's see what I get. I'm going to just read this for you. Why did John Dewey advocate for experiential learning? Because he believed in the principle of do we or don't we? Wow, that's good. And so I'm going to read the whole response because this is something else. This is a brand new chat with like no context. John Dewey, a luminary in the realm of education whose theories still echo in classrooms and discussions today. True. Crafting a pun about such a figure requires a playful twist on his intellectual legacy. How about this? I'll read it again because it's so good. Why did John Dewey advocate for experiential learning? Because he believed in the principle of do we or don't we? This pun playfully juxtaposes Dewey's educational philosophy with a common phrase, highlighting his emphasis on learning by doing it in a light-hearted manner. It's a nod to his belief that education should be an open and engaging process, not just the passive reception of facts. Just as Dewey himself might have appreciated, it's a blend of humor and thoughtfulness. I don't know if I would refer to Dewey as humor plus thoughtfulness. It's always so dense to me. All right, so you can, yeah. All right, that's enough. Enjoy the reading. Enjoy week 6. Yeah, OpenAI has changed a lot in this week. Check out the news if you've not done that. Reach out with questions if you have. And the final thing, if this is week 6 and you've not had Thanksgiving yet, week 6 is after Thanksgiving. So don't do any of the work until after Thanksgiving. I mean, you can, but week 6 is officially like the Monday morning after Thanksgiving through the following Sunday. So that is all, and happy week 6, everybody.